Hey everybody, welcome to the House Church video for this side week. I hope you get to dive into each other's lives. It's so much fun to be able to be in each other's homes with some regularity, and hopefully you're starting to feel a stronger sense of community. That thing that we've been having to work so hard to hang on to now is a little bit easier, but we still need to be diligent with it. So reach out to those people maybe who haven't been at your house church for a while, or who you're not sure where they are, and continue to draw them back into the family here at PAC that God has created for us and continues to offer to us. So enjoy diving into each other's lives. Specifically this week about the sermon, let me dive into my question mark, light bulb and arrow. My question and yours has been for a while in this Revelation series, what is actually in that scroll? We've seen the seals coming off. We know that the Lamb is the only one who can reveal the secret or hold that. We know it has something to do with how God is going to fix the world. It is the mystery of how the world ends up being how God wants it to be. How exactly is that going to happen? And as I try and answer that question in my imagination, I go to different places. I'm like, well, God's got a lot of resources at his disposal. I think of one of the scenes in the Chronicles of Narnia movie where Aslan is going to fix things, and this war seems to be going against the forces of good, but then the very trees themselves fight for Aslan. And so I'm kind of curious, like, okay, so when God needs to right the wrongs, he can animate things, he can change things, he can fix things in all kinds of spectacular ways. What's it actually going to look like? Well, today we get to find out, or rather on Sunday, we found out what the secret of the scroll was. And the light bulb moment maybe wasn't as crazy, oh wow, that's what it is, as we might have thought, because like everything in Revelation, it's just something that we've seen before. We find out just before the last trumpet is blown what the secret of the scroll is, and it's this, that the only thing that works to fix the world, the only thing that's going to bring it to God's purposes, the secret and mysterious way that God is going to fulfill his dreams for the universe, are through the power of sacrificial love. But specifically through these verses that we looked at on Sunday, we see that it's through Christians, as the lives of the two martyrs, which symbolize the Christian witness through history, live through the pattern of Jesus Christ. We are little Christs. We are Christians living the life of the little scroll, and that laying down of our lives and witness is what proves to be effective. That's the secret of the scroll, is that God's plan for fixing planet Earth is to make each person who follows Jesus, who follows the sacrificial lamb, so magnetic and filled with sacrificial love that they break down the barriers of evil. Evil cannot stand against sacrificial love. Love wins. My conviction out of that, my arrow out of that, is actually really more celebration, particularly in the verses that we looked at the end of the passage, where there's these references to the Old Testament, but the Old Testament stories that are being referred to, in those stories, God acts in judgment, and 90% of the people are destroyed and 10% remain. Or in the other number that's used in the Old Testament story, everybody is destroyed and there's only 7,000 faithful that are left. John in Revelation takes those stories, and in the light of the Lamb's presence and the power of the sacrificial love displayed by those who followed the Lamb, those ratios are reversed. Instead of the unfaithful majority being destroyed, we see instead that 90% are saved. We see that only 7,000 are destroyed. Now, those aren't specific numbers, we know that, but can you see what John is doing? He's taking us from a place where we have this sort of pessimistic, oh, most people are never ever going to find themselves in the beautiful embrace of the Father. And John here is saying, no, actually, God might be as good as Jesus tells us he is. That's amazing. And that makes me want to worship and love Jesus and the Father even more than I do. Have a great house church and enjoy talking these things through. Grace and peace.